Welcome to 100 Yards Football. Today is my NFL Draft Prospect Special. It's from my home state, the state of Tennessee. The prospect is Velus Jones, wide receiver, the Big Orange, the Tennessee Volunteers. So if you like the video today, please come in and share. We'll surely appreciate it here on 100 Yards Football. I'm Mr. Vincent Turner, Mr. Football, and let me talk about this young man right here. A transfer out of USC. Decided to come back south. Looked at all the schools, could have went to Georgia, could have transferred over to Alabama, Florida. But he came back to the Big Orange. And boy, he was an explosive football player when he was on the yard. That's what we consider Knoxville, the yard, the hill. I'm going to talk about the production of the young man in 2021. Over 800 receiving yards, 200 yards, punt return yards. 600 kickoff return yards. First team All-SEC. Reese's Bowl Senior All-American. 62 receptions in 2021 for 807 yards, 7 touchdowns, 1722 all-purpose yards. He averaged 132 yards a game. Let me talk about the skill set of this young man, Mr. Jones. Elite stop and go acceleration, A+. Elite track speed, A+. I'm going to get to that in a few minutes. Amazing and dynamic in the kicking game, A+. Great hands, A+. Can really be physical at the line of scrimmage. Can run by people that's playing bump and run like they ain't even standing there, A+. Plays fast and confident. Listen to the words here. He's a very, very confident football player. He's very elusive, shiftness, and change with his direction skills, A+. Explosive, A+. Great body control, A+. Legitimate vertical threat, A+. Get effort and technique as a blocker, A+. But think about this. With Mr. Jones. He elected Tennessee that already has had some great wide receivers in the past. And think about what he was following when he came to the Hill and transferred out of USC. Dante Stallworth, Joey Kent, Carl Pickens, Marcus Nash, Thomas Woods, Alvin Harper, Jeff Moore, Stanley Morgan, Mike Miller, Willie Gault, Lenny Taylor, Darrell Wilson, Tim McGee, Terrence Cleveland. All of them played in the National Football League. And then look at his return skills and return skills. Sometimes you think he was watching Terry Metcalf when he was with the Cardinals, and his son Eric Metcalf when he was with the Browns. Johnny Rodgers when he was in Nebraska. David Palmer when he was at Alabama. And Willie Gault, who's the kickoff return man at Tennessee. And then he got a little bit, I'm going to call him baby Tariq Hill. Mr. Jones has got a very special skill set. Then he comes from an area outside Mobile, Alabama. And I can understand why he was a 4-star recruit in high school. And I can understand why USC wanted him. Because I always tell y'all, out of all the areas going from Mississippi to Texas to California, that area of Mobile has always been saturated with football players and athletes at a high level. Heifer Dixon, Julio Jones. I'm talking about the surrounding areas within 50 miles. There's shining stars all over the place. Hank Aaron, Willie Anderson, Tommy Aaron, Robert Bazile, DeMarcus Cousins, Damian Craig, Nick Fairley, Jimmy Ward, Scott Hunter, Cherish Jackson, Antonio Lane that played basketball at Duke, T. Martin, A.J. McCarron, Willie McCovey, Amos Otis, Kansas City Royals, the great Satchel Paige, Donald Reese, Jack Peavy, the pitcher, Jamarcus Russell, Chris Samuels, Billy Williams, Sherman Williams, T.J. Elder, and Keith McCann. That's why this young man had a pretty good year at the University of Tennessee. Because the competition level down there is at another level. From basketball, the baseball, the football, kudos to Mobile, Alabama. And kudos to this football player that's going into the 2022 NFL drafting, Mr. Jones. And one thing, if you want to say what's electric about this man, and right now he's moving off the draft boards, when there's a show and the neon lights are on Broadway was just past weekend at the 2022 NFL draft. And Mr. Jones ran that 4.3140. It was like Joe Namath with the chinchilla coat on, going back to that parade of the Super Bowl III when he predicted the Jets are going to beat the Baltimore Colts. And when you were sitting at that poolside in Miami sipping on that whiskey, see, at that combine last week, it was neon lights. And Mr. Jones put on the show running a 4.31. And he played for my state school at the University of Tennessee. And kudos to all the guys that came out of my area that went to Tennessee. Good friend of mine is Carlton Peoples, cornerback. Mark Stowaway, another good friend of mine, defensive tackle. Xavier Cook. Daryl Hopper, Northside High School. Brian Ingram, Hamilton High School. Jesse Briggs, Hamilton High School. Kevin Milan, Catholic High School. Tennessee is on stage right now. And Mr. Jones put us there. He looked good in the 2022 NFL Combine. This is a football player, baby. So if you like the video today, please come in and share it. We'll surely appreciate it here on One of the Odds Football. To my producer, Mr. Logan Landers. And my main final words about Mr. Jones. Velus Jones, wide receiver of Tennessee. I'm going to take you back to 1978 when I'm a true freshman. A skinny little kid, 138 pounds, walking around on the campus of the University of Arkansas looking like I'm lost. I'm scared. First time away from home. But I go back to that dorm and I put on that song. One of my favorite bands of all time out of Dayton, Ohio. One more time, Dayton, Ohio. And they go by the name of Lakeside. And they had lyrics that went like this. And this is what Mr. Jones is going to do when he gets to the National Football League. If you want to party, come on in and party hardy. Where the people get together and they don't care about the weather. We're proud to say, welcome to the party, because it's all the way live. Mr. Jones is going to be all the way live in the National Football League. If you like the video, please come in and share it. I've been Mr. Football, Vincent Turner, joined this morning to Dolly Parton, another University of Tennessee alumnus and great donator. Hey, man, the Big Orange. Thank you. God bless.